Patriots, this is wild. People are saying that Jake Paul lost hundreds of millions of dollars on the fight that he was supposed to win, but that Anthony Joshua went against the tongue sign script and pounded him out. And what happened? Look at what happened. Anthony Joshua allegedly, kind of suspiciously, was involved in an accident that almost took his life. It took the life of 2 other people. So a lot of people are questioning what is going on.
Breaking news just shook the internet. Rumors are swirling that Jake Paul might be making a move. And the moment the story surfaced, online chatter exploded. The buzz intensified because his name was immediately linked to Anthony Joshua, sending fans, critics, and content creators into overdrive. People are speculating like it's a real-life thriller, questioning what happened behind the scenes, why the timing seems so dramatic, and whether fame, money, and the politics of boxing are finally colliding.
Created a perfect storm. What's
going on?
What's up, Floyd?
I can have what I want.
What you mean with the camera? Oh, you got camera too. So who you supposed to be? I'm just working, fam.
What happened? You're not tough anymore since your loss? What happened since your loss? Yo, we gonna bust him up, guys?
I told you before, put that.
Yo, let's bust him up. Where you running, Jake? Where you going since your fight? Since you lost? What's up, Jake? Where you going, Jake?
What pushed the story from typical celebrity drama into full-blown frenzy was a sudden mention of law enforcement. Once federal agents and a celebrity mansion enter the conversation, facts take a back seat and speculation takes over. Overnight, Jake Paul became the focal point of the story, where his silence spoke louder than any statement he could make.
Calabasas confirmed that Jake Paul's home was being raided by the FBI. News station helicopters got footage and pictures of Jake Paul's house being
Oh, they taking his guns and stuff. So there's got to be something gun related. Like, damn. But that's a sticky situation right there.
Photos show the FBI SWAT team seizing guns, several guns. According to the local ABC station, the weapons included a long gun that was next to the hot tub in the backyard. This search is part of an ongoing investigation, and no arrests have been made.
News of an FBI search at Jake Paul's Calabasas property hit like a scene from a movie trailer, complete with aerial views, tactical gear, sealed warrants, and no real context. That lack of explanation gave the internet free rein to weave together old headlines, past controversies, and long-standing rumors into a narrative that felt believable simply because it was so dramatic.
And this is Jake Paul's house, which got raided by the FBI. What could this guy be possibly into now?
Connect outside of YouTube. Twitter was buzzing with photos and videos of SWAT teams at Jake Paul's house yesterday. And no, they are not fake. The FBI and a SWAT team showed up at Jake Paul's house. Search warrant. The search began at 6 a.m. in connection with an ongoing investigation, according to FBI spokeswoman Laura I. Miller. Jake was not at home at the time. Unfortunately for T channels and everyone else that wants to know the scoop, the judge sealed the search warrant affidavit, so we don't actually know too much about why Jake Paul...
The moment officials declined to clarify what they were searching for, the internet did what it does best, turning speculation into entertainment. Jake Paul isn't viewed like a typical athlete. He's treated more like the star of a serialized drama, where every new development is seen as the next shocking chapter instead of routine legal or logistical matter.
Any thoughts on AJ and the families?
Yeah, it's all prayers and blessings for Cena and Lots and Anthony, and I've kept them in my prayers. And it's such a tragic situation that we don't wish upon anybody, and I'm sending love to all of them and keeping them in our prayers, and I think everybody else should do the same. And we have so much love, and things are so much bigger than boxing and living life, and we're just all blessed to be here, and we all have to be grateful for that, because you never know what's next.
This is where the story shifted from boxing news into legend. Jake Paul's career has always existed at the intersection of athlete and entertainment brand. And when old claims about control fights, protected outcomes, and brand-first matchmaking resurfaced, it added fuel to a fire that had quietly been smoldering among skeptical fans for years.
And when you lose hundreds of millions of dollars, people do not take it too kindly. And I can see the Vegas odds. If they're saying, look, he wins, he always wins, it's going to happen in the 6th round. But no. Anthony Joshua said, not on my clock. I'm going to break his jaw in 2. 2, Johnny. Make it 2, Utah. Make it 2. What do you guys think about this? I don't know. Is this conspiracy theory? Is there some truth to it? I don't know. But it does seem pretty suspicious that it happened so soon after.
This is when the rumors of a fleeing story gained traction, especially as the Anthony Joshua connection intensified the drama. Joshua embodies the harsh reality of elite heavyweight boxing, a fighter shaped by real danger and serious consequences. When his name is linked with Jake Paul's, the conversation shifts from hype to physics, pedigree, and survival, making any surprising outcome feel automatically suspicious.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua is a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's current, he's active, you know, and this is going to be the first time that we see Paul, you know, fighting an active fighter. You know what I mean? We seen the Mike Tyson, that was all fun, that was cute, you know what I'm saying? It's fun and games and stuff, but now you're dealing with a real professional, you know, and so we'll see how it ends up in, you know, like I said, I think it's scripted.
At the same time, some argue that capitalism doesn't need hidden scripts to create chaos. Promotional power, timing, and smart opponent selection can craft narratives without a single word being written. Supporters of Jake Paul also highlighted that he trains seriously, steps into the ring, and takes real risks that most internet personalities wouldn't dare face.
Jake would have won. Everyone would have known it was rigged. He couldn't win that fight. So he said, let me get to round 5. Let me get there, because if I can get there, then everyone can make money. And the second round 4 hit, Anthony was ready. It was so obvious. It's so gross to me that I participated in this because I wanted to see him get knocked out. And that's exactly what he knows to be true. Most people want to see him get knocked out.
The debate intensified because both sides were clinging to pieces of the truth. Jake Paul is undeniably a trained fighter, and he's also undeniably a calculated brand. Once the public labels a boxer as a marketing-driven personality first, every punch, hesitation, and performance is analyzed through that lens. Fair or not.
A lot of people saying, congratulations to Jake Paul for being brave to step in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Not many people will want to step in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Let me tell you something. If someone paid me $80 million to fight Anthony Joshua, I'm stepping in there tomorrow, right? No training, no nothing. I'm leaving straight from work. I fly to Miami and I'll get my jaw broken for $80 million, no problem. And I'm sure there will be millions.
When the fight didn't produce a level of devastation some fans imagined, disappointment quickly turned into conviction. And that conviction often manifested as claims of scripting, leaked plans, or secret deals. It's simply easier for people to believe the outcome was orchestrated than to accept that reality often delivers results that are messy or unsatisfying.
He's going to get a load of money to knock Jake Paul's spark out. That's it, mate. I want to see him get chinned. I do. And if we're going to get paid a fortune for the pleasure, sign me up. That's it. That's it. You know, I mean, I'm kind of past the days of trying to spin it to you. Better off saying to the fan, why are you doing this? For the money and for the giggles. That's really what it is. But I said to him, this ain't magic, mate. This guy could take your head off your shoulder.
The fleeing narrative thrived because it tapped into people's emotions, framing events as if every supposed leak or online prediction were fact rather than coincidence or fan speculation. The logic became self-reinforcing. Any denial was taken as a cover-up, and any uncertainty was treated as confirmation. At this point, the story no longer needed evidence to survive. It only needed attention and repetition. This is how the alleged fleeing angle gained momentum. Once enough people repeated the claim, it shifted from a question into a plot point, casting Jake Paul as someone avoiding confrontation after pressure allegedly surged in connection with new reports tied to the Anthony Joshua incident.
Jake Paul has some big-ass balls, bro. No diddy. You know, it's just like to go in there with one of the best heavyweights to ever do it, Anthony Joshua, Olympian. You know, was he a gold medalist? Gold medalist. Wow.
2012.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, my respects to, obviously, Jake, because, man, that took a lot, and he's robbing the bank, man. He's promoter. He's
The idea that Jake Paul was leaving the country spread rapidly because it hit all the classic viral triggers at once. Celebrity scandal, sports controversy, hints of misconduct, and the irresistible image of a famous figure seemingly trying to escape consequences. Of course, travel alone proves nothing, and moving around is normal for someone at his level. The harsh reality for Jake Paul is that in the court of public opinion, optics have become evidence. Staying in one place looks like hiding, leaving looks like fleeing, and speaking out looks like spinning. As a result, almost every ordinary action gets reinterpreted as a sign of guilt once the internet has already passed judgment.
So they're going to tune in, and guess what we got? Jake Paul getting knocked out. He also made a lot of fucking money, and we are all just consuming it. If you believe in astrology, you will know this to be true. I looked up his natal chart. It's mostly earth energy. Everything he's doing is a fucking act. It's an act. He doesn't act that way at home. I guarantee it. He is a Capricorn, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Libra, Mars, and a Taurus moon. There's no way he acts like that at home.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for what's coming next.